This is Julia, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about some recent Windows news, as there's been a lot of news about Windows this week, so I thought I'd make a video about it. So I'm going to be talking about some things I found in some articles that I've read, and you guys can read the articles in the description after I talk about it if you'd like, as I'm not going to read all of the articles completely, but I'm basically going to give you a summary about them. So pretty much, let's get started. So the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update is coming out on October 17th. It's going to be adding some new features, so this is coming next Tuesday. And they're going to have new features such as, I heard there's new features in Microsoft Edge, there's a new Action Center look, there's also some new settings that were added, and I think it's pretty cool. You actually can get it early if you join the Windows Insider program, but I'm sure soon, within days, you can probably use the Upgrade Assistant eventually, or the Media Creation tool will eventually have the Fall Creators Update. So if you want to read this article, it just talks about new features. Link will be in the description so you can read this, but pretty much that's what this article's about. Which also, this brings us to the next thing, as today is Patch Tuesday, which is a week before the Fall Creators Update, because believe it or not, the Fall Creators Update didn't come out on Patch Tuesday just like the Creators Update did. I guess they just needed some more time to have insiders test it out and push cumulative updates to them and to fix some bugs and stuff, but pretty much the Fall Creators Update will be good, and it's recommended to get it when it comes out next Tuesday. So this Tuesday was the October Patch Tuesday, which they released KB 404.1676 in Windows Update, which brings us to 15063.674. Thing I forgot to include, which I'm just going to put this in the middle of the video after talking about the Patch Tuesday, is if you want to check for updates in Windows 10 for Patch Tuesday, go to your Start menu, which I have Classic Shell, but there would be a settings button over here, but I can just click PC settings, or you could search it. And also you could do Windows key I, and that also opens settings in Windows 10, just a quick shortcut. And then you're going to go to Update and Security, and you can see we have Windows Update, and then you can just click Check for Updates, and it will check for updates and search for updates. And they've also had the same cumulative update for Windows 10 Mobile, and then these are some of the fixes, which, again, I'm not going to read all these, but they just fixed a bunch of stuff in the updates, as well as added some security to it, because in the next thing I'm going to show you here is there is a vulnerability in the Windows DNS that lets attackers run code on your computer, which Microsoft has patched this in Patch Tuesday, and so it's only affected in Windows 8 and 10, Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2016. They didn't have this in Windows 7, as this DLL they were talking about was introduced in Windows 8. So this is why it's super important to always keep your Windows up to date, because of these vulnerabilities. You may think, oh, it's not going to happen to me. Well, it could. Like, a good website could be compromised and have that vulnerability in it, or you could click a link, or maybe an ad on a page could trigger it if it's a malicious ad. So pretty much you got to keep in mind that doing your updates is very important, which is going to bring us to the next thing, which is if you're still running Windows 10 version 1511, it's reaching end of support today. Will no longer receive security updates or quality updates, which, if you guys are on that version, which I'm sure most of you are not, because that was from November 2015, also known as the Windows 10 November Update, or 10586, or NU, whatever you want to call it. If you want to check to see what version you're on to make sure you're not on that, you can hold the Windows key, press R, and type WinVer, which will bring up your Windows version here. See, I have version 1703, OS build 15063.674, so I'm safe. I'm on the latest cumulative update that was even released today, so I'm perfectly fine, as you can see. Now, I'm going to show you another way. You can actually right-click the Start menu and click Run if you want to do that, and type WinVer if you don't have like the Windows key on your keyboard, which I'm going to actually show you here, my VM. Let's check our VM. So let's make sure it's safe. So we're going to right-click the Start menu, and we're going to click Run, and then we're going to type WinVer. And you can see it is not safe because it's on version 1511, OS build 10586.164. So it's not even the latest cumulative update. This is pretty much a fresh install of it. So the fresh install of it has .164 by default. But there might be newer ISOs out there that people have modified, but this VM is not safe because it's still on that build and not even the latest update for that build. So I'm going to show you guys how to update that. So let's enable the network on this VM, as we're going to need the network. And I'm going to show you guys, if you're not on 15063, this will also get you on 15063, saying you're on the anniversary update, or which is 14393, or maybe even the first release of Windows 10, which is version 1507, build 10240. So if you're not on 15063, this is how you're going to update to it, which when the Fall Creators Update comes out, this will update you to the Fall Creators Update. So if you're watching this after October 17th or on October 17th, I would do this so that way you get Fall Creators Update. But we're going to go to Google here, and we're going to search for, if this VM will load, Windows 10 download. And we're just going to scroll down to Microsoft Download Windows 10 Disk Image ISO. Now, it won't necessarily download an ISO, as there is an Update Now button on the top of this page, which you can update to the Creators Update or the Fall Creators Update when it's out, which they might release the Fall Creators Update on the Upgrade Assistant a couple days before it's on Windows Update. Wonder if it's even out there right now. Wouldn't surprise me. So we're going to click Run, and we're going to click Yes. And this is pretty much going to check it, and you can see it says update to the latest version of Windows 10. One of the best features of Windows 10 is that it keeps getting better with every update. This PC is currently not running the latest and most secure version of Windows 10. This PC is running version 10586. The latest version is 15063, and it tells us we can get you the latest security enhancements and feature improvements. Click Update Now to get started. And we are going to click Update Now. It says it's compatible next, and then it's going to get the update ready, start downloading. Now, if your PC is still on 1511 and it has not updated yet, because most computers by now have done auto updates and they've updated to the latest version, but yours might not have if it had issues updating. So if you have issues installing this update, or it may say you're running out of storage, make sure you free up storage. You can use like Disk Cleanup or CCleaner, or anything just to delete stuff, clear your downloads folder, empty your recycle bin, things like that. And hopefully you'll be able to get this updated, as this is super important right now because of all the vulnerabilities and hacks that's been going on the internet. So just showing you how to update that there. So anyways, also talking about updates is that with Google, let's talk about Google and Microsoft here. Microsoft's putting Windows 7 users at risk by patching Windows 10, because Microsoft has been patching Windows 10 more than 7, as it seems like Microsoft's trying to move on from Windows 7. As you remember, they were forcing people to upgrade to Windows 10, as well as Windows 8 users, but it seems like they're really trying to ditch Windows 7 now, which in a way is sad, but in a way, Windows 7 is from 2009, and I know some still like it a lot, but it's starting to get unsafe. Even though it still gets security updates, it's still not getting every single patch, unlike Windows 10, which is getting pretty much all the patches, which it's best if you're on 10 to be on the latest feature update and cumulative update to stay the safest. So if you want to read more on this, you guys can go to the link in the description, but you could see that pretty much 43.99% of users are still using Windows 7, which is crazy, because I guess it's starting to be like the new Windows XP. I remember there were so many people using Windows XP still, and XP's lost support, and believe it or not, there's still some people using XP. But anyways, on to that, Microsoft actually admits that Windows Phone is dead, because if I go to this article here, it talks about the vice president of the operating system. He's actually broke silence of Windows 10 Mobile, because he said people should switch to a different platform. And yeah, it shocked a lot of people. Apparently they're no longer developing it, they're not really caring about it anymore. They said they'll still support the platform, bug fixes, security updates, but they're not really focusing on new features anymore, which is, in a way, it's a disappointment, but I had a feeling that Windows phones would eventually die. I mean, there's not that many apps on them, and it just seems like Android and iOS has just taken over everything, So in a way, it's sad to see that Microsoft couldn't fix it, but in a way, I mean, I knew this was coming. So pretty much that's that. So another thing Microsoft did is they actually killed off Groove Music pretty much, as they are terminating the streaming service later this year on it, and people believe it failed because the Windows Phone failed, because they just didn't really have a good mobile platform. It was the lack of the mobile platform that not many people really had Windows phones, and if more people had them and they were better and more popular, then Groove Music would probably still be here today, which I'm sure the app is still in 10, but the streaming service is no longer going to work later this year. It's just going to be completely discontinued. And they said pretty much music is all about mobile. Like, they have like the apps like Spotify, Google Music, Apple Music, and all those things nowadays that, you know, Microsoft just didn't really make it in the mobile platform. They made it obviously in the PC platform, but not really in the mobile platform. So if you want to read more about this, you can. And then for our final thing, Microsoft actually glitched, and a Windows 10 update removed Media Player with people that had the Fall Creators Update early, the Windows Insiders, which this was a pretty big deal because some people were like, that's weird that this KB removed it, saying Feature on Demand Media Player removes it from the OS, but you could add it back. You could add the feature and it would reinstall. But apparently a Microsoft spokesman had good news for people, for the users of Media Player, which they're aware of and investigating a bug in a Windows Insider build that's preventing the access to Windows Media Player. They do not have plans to remove Windows Media Player for Windows 10. So Windows Media Player will stay in Windows 10, which I actually do use it still. But I think a good alternative would be VLC. I don't really like the Movies and TV app, which is, I think that's what it's called on Windows 10. I don't really like that app. I always uninstall like all those apps that come with Windows 10 except for the ones I use, and I have the store so that way the apps will still update. And I like the Photos app. I think that's a cool app, but pretty much everyone freaked out over this when really it was just a glitch. They're investigating it. They're not removing it in Windows 10. Probably in a future Windows release, which isn't Windows 10, which of course Microsoft's actually going to release an RS4 build, another one probably tomorrow or Thursday, which if you actually are on the Windows Insider program and you got 16299 or the Fall Creators Update early, might want to leave the Insider program before you get the next build, because they are going to start pushing RS4 builds to the fast ring. So keep in mind, if you do have Insider right now and you're on 16299 and you want to stay on the Fall Creators Update, if you don't leave now and you get an update, you're not going to be able to get off of it unless you like roll back to 16299. But that's only if you went one update ahead. If you did another RS4 after that, then you wouldn't be able to, and you'd have to reinstall Windows completely in order to go back on the Fall Creators Update. So pretty much that's all the Windows news I have for today. Thanks for watching. Also, if you guys have any more video ideas or anything you want to see on this channel, leave them in the comments below. And hopefully I'll have more videos probably next week. I don't think I'm going to have any more probably this week. I don't know when this is going up, if it's going up today or tomorrow, because I do have a lot of schoolwork I have to do and a lot of homework this week, projects, essays, tests, and all kinds of stuff. So hopefully I can get this video up. It's Tuesday, October 10th. I might have this video up either tonight or tomorrow, not sure yet. But anyways, that's all I have for today. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this news was useful, as some of this was kind of important. And anyways, let's actually check our VM, which is 23% downloading. This will walk you through it, so just let this do its thing and it'll tell you when it wants to reboot. So, getting my VM updated now, so it's safe, although it is a VM, so I mean, it's not my main, so it's not as big of a deal. But if that was on my main, that would be a big problem. Big problem. So And not a lot of people really necessarily know. There's some people that don't know that much, and they're not even sure about updates, or they don't do them, or they rely on their computer to do them automatically, when sometimes if your computer has a malfunction, the update system might break, and then your system just sits there unupdated and you're not aware of it. Well, anyways, that's all I got, so I'm going to end the video here. So thanks again, guys, for watching, and bye-bye for now, and stay safe.